Some of the most beautiful dials on earth created by this company at incredibly affordable prices. And so value is what I'm all about when I talk Grand Seiko. I love this brand. They do some unique things in terms of polishing steel, which is industry renowned. The artisan aspect to these watches is insane. They're just absolutely beautiful. This is craftsmanship done in Japan that very few companies can rival. And so that's one aspect of it. But also, the movements themselves are incredibly accurate. A lot of people don't know this, and we don't talk about it too much in Switzerland because this is Geneva, supposedly the birthplace of watches. Not true. The Japanese were first, and they did it from lockmaking way, 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 way back. And so these brands, Seiko, Grand Seiko, have been around a long time. It's rather interesting when you go back and look at some of the beautiful pieces made, even in the 50s. Seiko existed then. It was a watch called the Super. I know this because I'm wearing it in a movie right now called Marty Supreme. Came right out of the museum with a Japanese flag on the back, made right after the Second World War. It's beautiful. It films gorgeously. You'll see it Christmas Day. Don't miss that movie. I'm promoting it right now. But on my right wrist is a Seiko Super, made in about 1948, 49, maybe 50. We don't know for sure, but it's beautiful. Anyways, I've got someone very important here. We're going to look at 6 new pieces together. This is absolutely fantastic. This is Joe, by the way.
Great to see you again. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So first, I'll start with our biggest value. Let's say at 5,600, we're introducing a new manual wind, 3-day power reserve, utilizing our signature style we call the 44GS, which set the Grand Seiko standard for design back in 1967.
It's a classic.
Very
beautiful
steel
polish.
Yeah, thank you.
And what is this dial?
So this dial is inspired by Mount Iwate. So if you visit our studio in Japan, which we'd love to have you one day, you can see out the window Mount Iwate in the distance. It's an overbearing mountain that is, as long as it's not
engraved, it has texture to it.
Correct. Yeah. So the mold for the pattern is engraved, and then we press into the dial to create the texture. And then we'll utilize various plating processes and lacquering processes to achieve the color. So this particular one is inspired by the prefectural flower of Iwate Prefecture, which is known as kiri.
So it's got a slight pink hue to it.
Correct. A little bit purple, almost lavender.
Yeah.
And, very distinct and a totally new color for our collection. So we're really excited
absolutely
about it.
Beautiful. And you know what I find interesting? This size could also appeal to women.
To women, to people who love vintage, to anyone. And that's, I think, the great thing about
manual wind, classic.
Correct.
Screw down crown?
No, for the manual winding, we want to make it easy to access, right?
Okay. That's beautiful.
And then back in 2023, we introduced a new movement called Tentagraph, right? Our 10-beat, 3-day automatic chronograph. We haven't come out with a new one since. So I'm very excited this year because I love the design, I love the movements, and we're introducing our first Grand Seiko in a panda design for a chronograph. Wow. So this also utilizes that same Mount Iwate texture.
Yes.
But in a snow blue that looks very silver, but subtle blue hint in the back note. Now, it also utilizes a dual dial structure. So this way we can actually create the separate colors for the subdials without using like paint and
chrono with date.
Correct, yeah. Chronograph with date and
Price
high
point?
frequency. This one's going to be 14,100.
So this is a higher end range.
Yes. It's a near 400 component high beat chronograph with the longest duration of a 36,000 vibration per hour chronograph on the market today. So
completely waterproof,
2 hours.
I assume.
Yeah, 100 meter water resistance, of course, and then our high intensity titanium alloy. So
automatic watch.
Yes, self winding and basically optimized for energy.
I mean, you've really stepped it up on the dials this year. These are really spectacular. They have a lot of variants with light. It's just, which I love. I mean, this is a fantastic innovation.
You do always talk about our dials very highly.
Well, I do. But you never disappoint. I'm wearing a classic right now, a Superman, which is one of my favorite watches. Yeah. I mean, and then, of course, a Creedor, which we don't talk about too much here in Geneva, but
not too much.
People should know that these are some of the most spectacular watches ever made, and the dials are insane. This is hand painted.
Yeah, this is out of our masterpiece collection in Credor, which not many people know about yet. So it's
Well, I'm just spreading the word about this. Creedor is also one of my favorite watches as well. But I think the dials are becoming your hallmark, really, because the polishing of the steel is incredible itself. But these texture dials, you don't see too much of this. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to make a dial like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Without question. So, and it takes a lot of craftsmanship as well. Now, we want to make each dial the same from one watch to the next.
Yeah.
But when I was explaining how we make that Iwate texture, literally a hardened mold is hand carved and then goes through all these various processes to achieve the color and texture and finish. So
there's a certain elegance to this. This will work as a sports watch, but also could be worn with a tuxedo. It's got a great look to it, no question about it. I love that. All right. Yeah, that's really quite something, actually. When I look at it closely, my goodness.
Yeah, under a microscope, it almost looks like fibrous.
Yeah.
It's very detailed.
Well, this is really quite a piece. I mean, it's beautiful. All right, next.
So we have introduced our second Tentagraph finally, and this year we didn't want to just stop at one. We wanted to introduce a totally new take on the Tentagraph. Back in 2019, we introduced what we called the Tokyo Lion, which is inspired by the claws and teeth of a ferocious lion, which has been the symbol of Grand Seiko since 1960. Yeah. And this really dynamic, very geometrically shaped case design has got to be a nightmare for our case polishers.
It must be. There's so many different surfaces on this.
Many intersecting planes, and these broad, flat surfaces are incredibly difficult to Zaratsu polish.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to make even in the Zaratsu polishing process, but also the case metal itself. Now, if you remember our constant force tourbillon we introduced in 2022, and then we had the new iteration last year, this is using the same titanium alloy that we had on that, which we call brilliant hard titanium. So it's brilliant that you can look at it next to the platinum on the constant force tourbillon, and it looks nearly the same. But also at the same time, it's hard, twice the hardness of stainless steel.
This is quite something in terms of the dial as well. I mean, this is a very rich textured dial.
Yeah, we're calling lion gold in terms of the color. So, and the pattern is based on the lion's mane as it flows in the wind.
This year's collection, as I like to call it, the dials are off the charts. I mean, these are really, really spectacular.
One of my other favorite aspects is the subdials, the concave, almost like bowls.
Price point on this?
This one will be $16,400. So
still a phenomenal price, under $20,000 for what is a beautiful piece of technology.
Thank you. Yeah. The other cool thing is we have an entirely new type of rubber material that we're using for the strap with over twice the tensile strength of the previous silicone that we were using.
So yeah, this would look good with a red band on it.
It would. It would.
No, I think this is probably one of your signature pieces this year.
I think so as well. So this has been really well received, and it's a bigger sports watch, which is very different for Grand Seiko. But the unique case shape, the Tentagraph caliber, of course, and it's really bold design.
The case is unique in the sense that it has multiple planes. It's layered like a mountain. I mean, it's really. I don't recall seeing anything quite like this from you before.
Yeah, we have the Tokyo Lion design that we introduced in 2019, but the bezel is just a sapphire ring with luminous numerals underneath, and it's smooth. So the bezel is a much more complex structure, and is certainly adding to the craftsmanship of the watch.
Also, it's going to make this. It'll arrive in the room before you do.
The concept is kind of based on a diamond, right? And this is true. This is why we started the Zaratsu polishing, is the more facets they are, the more perfectly flat and polished they are, the more it shimmers light. And that's our aim, is to have this brilliant sparkle that can remain unrivaled.
It almost looks paved. I mean, it almost looks like it has diamonds in it. It's really beautiful done. Is it a chronograph?
Non-chronograph, just time only.
Okay.
With our 8-day power reserve. Wow. And so that one, we actually also brought one of the craftsmen responsible for the stone setting.
Yeah, I mean, this is, for under $20,000, this is one hell of a timepiece. There's no question about it. It's hard to find that kind of value in any brand. and including all the technology. It's just fantastic. All right, Joe, that's quite a piece.
But this year we're introducing a new technology we're calling U.F.A. So
U.F.A.
It's spring drive,
Yeah.
but we're refining by ultra fine accuracy.
Stepping it up a notch on accuracy.
Indeed.
It's hard to be what you already have. That's what's incredible.
Exactly. So when we introduced spring drive in the first continuous production format in 2004, it was the world's most accurate automatic or manual winding watch at plus or minus 15 seconds per month. Right?
Yeah.
2020, we introduced our Caliber 9RA series, and we were able to improve and boost it to 10 seconds per month.
And now?
20 seconds, not by the day, not by the month, by year.
Okay, 20 seconds accurate per year. That's obviously you have to keep it wound.
Of course, yeah.
But it's an automatic watch.
Automatic 3-day power reserve.
Insane. That's near atomic accuracy. That's crazy.
Indeed.
There is nobody on earth that's done this better than Grand Seiko in terms of accuracy. Way back in the 60s, when they would compete for accuracy against the Swiss, they beat them all the time. It was crazy. They stopped having the competition. That's a true story. But this is probably the most accurate manual watch in the world, right?
Yeah, so it's the most accurate watch in the world, powered by a mainspring. So whether it's automatic winding, manual winding, it doesn't matter. This is the pinnacle of precision in a
price point
in a spring-powered watch. So we'll introduce two variations. So the one I have with you right now is 39,000 in platinum 950.
Yeah,
and will be limited to 80 pieces worldwide. So not very many on the market, but
so 80 pieces will be made.
Correct.
And this is platinum.
This is platinum. At least the finished product. This is a prototype sample. So this one particular steel. So the weight, I know you can sense the weight on that, but
because I was just wondering, it didn't feel like platinum, but this is a prototype.
Exactly.
When are these watches going to come to market?
So this will launch in June,
and it's $80,000.
This one is $39,000.
39,000.
80 pieces.
80. So $40,000, 80 pieces, which makes it, a collection, a very rare collection. But really, the hallmark of this is the accuracy. That's really what this story's about. Dial's spectacular.
Yeah, so this is a new pattern that we developed, again, hand-carved into the mold and the mold pressed into the dial. So we call Ice Forest. So nearby our studio, there's this beautiful area called the Kirigamine Highlands in Nagano Prefecture. And so there's these forests that end up covered in frost. And this is serving as the source of inspiration for the dial pattern.
Yeah, this is a stunning piece. How is this a 38?
37.
37, again, something unique.
Yeah.
You don't find too many 37s. By the way, this is falling in line with the trend for men's watches now to bring them down a little bit. Remember, we went up to 44. It got too crazy. But this is a perfect watch for anybody to wear. It's going to be very comfortable. 37.
Yes, so this is now the smallest automatic spring drive that's been released thus far.
And the most accurate. The thing I like about Grand Seiko, as I call the crunch factor, when you're winding it, even though this is an automatic, it has an amazing feel to it that's kind of unique to the brand. It just screams quality. It's the production of 80 pieces worldwide.
80 worldwide, most of which, of course, will stay in Japan, but we'll have a global presence.
Beautiful. This is quite a piece. This may be the hit of the show.
So we did it in platinum, but I think the bigger conversation piece is actually in high-intensity titanium.
Wow.
Not limited edition, so continuous production, extremely lightweight and comfortable, and our high-intensity titanium is very durable.
Price?
$10,900.
For a titanium watch?
With the precision of 20 seconds per year.
Same precision.
In the smaller size.
This is probably going to be very, very popular because that's very affordable, incredible technology, beautifully designed, an amazing dial. This polished steel is crazy. I mean, it's unique to the brand.
Now, there's an added benefit with this particular model. If you don't mind, I'll show you real quick. So, Grand Seiko fans, are crazy about the brand, and if there's one piece of negative feedback we've heard over the years, it's that we don't have a micro-adjustable clasp.
Right.
Well,
huge criticism.
Grand Seiko has so many standards and rules in its design, its development, and the protocol of making a Grand Seiko is very difficult. So to create a clasp that met our durability and longevity standards.
That had flexibility, the sizing.
Exactly. So to design something like this had a lot of requirements to meet. And at the same time, we didn't want to infringe on anyone else's intellectual property. So, that also created a challenge for our designers. But we developed a new micro-adjustable clasp that's patented by us that you basically align the bracelets straight, push it up and over a little bit, slides all the way out, and then you can click it in 3 steps. 1, 2,
That's
3.
incredible.
6 millimeter adjustment, up to 6 millimeter adjustment, 2 millimeters each step.
Is this the only watch that features this now?
Only watch that features it now, and for the foreseeable future, we do have some limitations in production capacity for the clasp as well as...
This is titanium.
Correct, yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, that makes probably this watch the most desirable. The price is incredible. Titanium is smoking hot right now. The dial's amazing. There's 20 seconds a year accuracy is crazy. So what a package for $10,000. That's really beautiful. And I think you'll find because it's 37, women will also wear this.
I think so. Actually, we've been showing to quite a few women already that are very excited about this new design. So
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So that's the lineup this year.
That's the lineup, lean and mean, and we're always ready to introduce more. But I think that you'll see the trend in Grand Seiko is changing a little bit now, where we're really refining our collection. We became an independent brand in 2017, and we started to expand our collection. And now it's about honing in and refining and making it comprehensive. And so we're focusing.
There's a lot of diversity here. I mean, you've got a sports thing going on with the chrono with date, I might add. Of course, spectacular polish on some of these. But this new technology and anything titanium in the market is just like everybody is looking at titanium because most collectors don't have a lot of titanium.
Yes.
And titanium for $10,000 with this level of accuracy, this is probably the best of show, so to speak. If you think about it that way.
Very kind.
In terms of value and just design and accuracy and technology, and titanium gives it a certain je ne sais quoi. I love it. That's spectacular.
We're aiming to create the best possible practical watch. That's always been the goal of Grand Seiko, and I think this meets the needs for a lot of people in that regard.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to do very, very well in the market.
Thank you.
No question about it. Joe, thank you so much. Each year you keep bringing it. There's no question about it. So
appreciate that.
This is probably, of the last 5, the most interesting. You have big advancements here.
Thank you. We're very proud.
Yeah. Thanks.
Much appreciated, Kevin.